If you're hearing this, you've tuned past the weather, past the Christmas specials, past the stations that know where they are. You've drifted onto a frequency that shouldn't really exist. Welcome to Dead Reckoning Radio. Out here, some ships don't die when you write Lost with All Hands in the log. They keep sailing. They freeze, they thaw, they vanish, they come back. Ghost ships. The ones that never make it safely into the Snowglobe in your living room. The ones that are the Snowglobe. Tonight's story: a ship locked in ice, abandoned, then seen again, and again, and again. A ship the ice tried to keep, and couldn't. You're tuned in to Dead Reckoning Radio, illegal broadcast from a ship that doesn't show up on any of your charts. You can call me the captain, you can call me lost. Both will be true. By my count, it's the first of 12 nights to Christmas, or the first of 12 I remember this time. I've done this countdown before. The days don't always line up the same way, but we start here, every loop, with a ghost ship in the snow. There was a ship they called the Ghost Ship of the Arctic. Steel hull, merchant workhorse. Nothing romantic about her on paper. She got caught in the pack ice one year, properly trapped. The crew took what they could and walked off her into the white. They left her there. Thought, well, that was the end of it. Only it wasn't. A few days after she disappeared, she turned up again. 40, 50 miles south, still locked in ice like she'd been picked up and set down by a bored giant. Months later, sighted 300 miles away. No crew, no captain, just this empty hull, drifting where the currents pleased. People boarded her more than once. Prospectors, Inupiat hunters, a captain trying to claim her for salvage. They'd climb over the rail thinking they'd finally caught the old girl. And then the ice would move, or the weather would turn, and she'd slip away again. Year after year, decade after decade, she kept turning up. Off the Alaskan coast, frozen solid in new ice, then loose again and drifting. The last time anyone admits to seeing her was in '69, 38 years after her crew walked away and left her for dead. After that, no wreck on the record, no tidy grave. Just a lot of water, a lot of ice, and a question. Did she finally go under? Or did she find a part of the sea where ships don't have to choose between floating and sinking? That's the kind of story people tell themselves when the nights get long. And somewhere out in the dark, there's a ship still sailing the way it remembers, even if nobody's left aboard to steer. If you've ever held a snow globe, you already know half the trick. Tiny ship, tiny church, tiny houses. You shake it and the world inside goes white for a while. Then the flakes settle and everything's exactly where you left it. That's the safe version. Out here, in what they call the Spectral Sea, is what happens when the glass breaks and the snow doesn't stop. I've watched snow fall over black water until the horizon looks like the inside of a paperweight. Ship in the middle, nothing but swirling white between you and the rest of the world. You start to feel less like a captain and more like a toy, something small trapped in somebody else's hand. They have storm glasses, you know, old weather charms the captains used to hang in their cabins. Clear liquid in a glass, little crystals inside. When the pressure changed, the crystals would branch, bloom, or go still. A tiny storm in a bottle telling you what the sky was thinking. I've seen one of those out here, too. Hanging where it shouldn't have been. Crystals inside twisting themselves into shapes that I don't have names for. Can't tell you where I saw it. Can't tell you how long ago. The The Spectral Sea doesn't like straight answers. All I remember is the feeling, like the whole ocean was inside that glass and somebody outside of me was watching to see which way the storm would jump. The ship I'm on now shouldn't be here either. By rights, we should have docked, unloaded, gone home, wrapped presents, complained about the catering. Instead, we're in the middle of a snow globe nobody's put down in years. Out here, ships don't quite arrive, and they don't quite sink. They get caught mid-page in their own stories. Christmas Eve, wrong turn, bad weather, and that's the page that keeps getting read. Wrecks replay like records with a scratch. Same night, same watch. The ice keeps the holes, the sea keeps the moment. I remember Christmases in the real world. Shop windows full of plastic snow, little globes lined up in rows. You shake them, you set them back on the shelf, you move on. I've seen them on mantelpieces, in cabin bars, and those cruise ship gift shops with the same 3 carols on loop. Tiny storms contained and polite. The thing they don't tell you is, it works both ways. Out there you stand in the warm and look in at a scene in glass. Out here, some nights it feels like the glass is around me, and somebody's on the outside watching the flakes fall. Maybe it's you wherever you're listening from. Maybe it's the sea itself. Maybe it's something that doesn't bother with names. All I know is I've counted down to Christmas more times than I can remember from this same stretch of black water. 12 nights, 12 stories. Sometimes the details change. A different ship on the horizon, a new pattern in the storm glass, another ghost added to the roll. But the feeling's the same. Like someone keeps picking up the globe, giving it a shake, and waiting to see if this is the year the little ship inside does something different. Tonight it's snow and steel and a ship that slipped every hand that tried to claim her. Tomorrow, we talk about what happens after the hull goes under, about the wrecks where no bodies came home. But people on shore still swear they heard their voices. Carols over black water, hymns with no choir, songs coming in from a sea that shouldn't have reception. If you're near the coast and the night's too quiet, listen close. You might hear the carol of the drowned before I do.